It's Thursday, May 29th, 2025. Thanks for tuning in today. Please remember to give this video a like, share it, and make sure that you subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into what's happening today. A couple articles I printed up earlier. Want to share all this with you. Feel free to comment down below. Trump tariffs reinstated by appeals court for now. A federal appeals court granted the Trump administration's request to temporarily pause a lower court ruling that struck down most of Trump's tariffs. Even if the administration loses, they will find another way to apply these tariffs. The Supreme Court really needs to put this lawfare to end. Who is running the country? Again, you may not like Mr. T, you may despise him, but at the end of the day, he was voted in, not three federal judges who think, I guess, they have more power than the President of the United States of America. That is my opinion. And this is by far no way being political. I don't want to be political. We are talking about what's happening economically in this country, who's actually been voted in to run the country, and yet we have federal judges jumping in here and trying to put a halt to this. We'll see how it all plays out. I don't think that they're going to be successful. I think that this administration is going to move ahead with tariffs, whether the tariffs go up and down and sideways, which we've seen. Personally speaking, I wish that there would be no pauses on these tariffs. I think that the administration should stay strong on these tariffs, especially the one with Europe, the EU, and pausing the 50%. I don't think they should have done that. But look, I'm a C- student. I wasn't elected president, so I'll let the professionals deal with it. Redfin News, the U.S. housing market has nearly 500,000 more sellers than buyers, the most on record. That will likely cause home prices to fall. This on Redfin today. There are now 34% more sellers than buyers. People will tell me that I shouldn't be making offers, lowball offers they call it. Let me say this, the offers I've made on homes have been basically the price of the home back in 2019, 2020. I'm just not buying into the fact that we're still in 2021, 2022, and neither should you. I think anybody buying a home today in 2025 that is paying a 21, 22 price, you're being absolutely ripped off. When I look at, the graphs of what happened from 21 to 22, this hockey stick that just went straight up. And now, just look at this data. There are 500,000 more sellers than buyers. Why would you pay listing price? Why would you pay above listing price? Why would you pay this hockey stick price of these homes when they were selling back in 21, 22 at these outrageous prices before we had 7% mortgages? Why would you even do that? People will accuse me again of trying to take advantage of sellers. Look, I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody, and neither should you, but at the end of the day, this is business. I take emotions out of it. You either want to sell or you don't. I'm not paying 21, 22 prices. Anybody out there watching this video, you can pay whatever you want. If you believe that paying 21, 22 prices is good, by all means, go right ahead. But more buyers now are beginning to realize they don't have to pay these type of prices, especially with 7% mortgages. It's just amazing. How do you justify home prices going up in 21, 22, literally 50% a year? How do you justify a home that is now 150% more than it was back in 2020? I'll tell you how you do it, because mortgage rates were 2.5%. They're no longer 2.5%, and these homes should not be selling anywhere near what they were selling for back in 21, 22. And the people that bought homes back then, 9 out of 10, if they're honest, will tell you they regret doing it. They paid way too much for the homes. Yeah, they got a great mortgage rate, but they paid way too much for the home, and now they're sitting on a lot more debt. Yes, they're financing that debt at a lower rate, but at the end of the day, they have a huge amount of debt because they overpriced. So they paid such an overpriced amount for that home that it's going to take a long, long time if they ever are able to pay it off. But what if they want to sell it? As prices are coming down now, they paid so much for the home, and now the market is adjusting, it's correcting, it's going to continue to correct. It's It's going to continue to go down. And how do you get out of a home that you bought overpriced by 100, 200,000 or more? How do you do that? It's like buying a car that you paid $40,000 over sticker for, and then 3 years later try to sell it. It's impossible. People that did that with autos, they're upside down. People who did this with homes, upside down. U.S. pending home sales plunged most in 30 months, back near record lows. U.S. pending home sales plunged 6.3% month over month in April. And they were only expecting it to go down 1%. The West saw the biggest drop. That drop was 8.9% month over month. That is a big, big drop. Second biggest drop was in the South. Here's one from wolfstreet.com. Pending home sales plunge in all regions. Inventory surge in the West and South. Collapsed sales meeting spiking inventories. So we now see housing inventory spiking, reaching 5-year highs. Somebody tell me why you would pay listing price, why you would pay anything near listing price right now. If you have some time and if you have some cash, be sitting on the sidelines, because I think we're going to see some real opportunities coming. Pending home sales are down 28% from 2022. Let me repeat that. Pending home sales are down 28% from 2022. They're down 34.8% from 2023. That is staggering. Something's happening in the housing market. Last year, we saw the housing market go ice cold. 71% of real estate agents across the country did not do one deal. Zero deals. And we are watching, I think, a market now in 2025 where it is even worse than 2024, and it's going to continue to get worse as we see more uncertainty with the economy, as we see more massive layoffs, more inflation. It can only get worse. Do not pay full price, ladies and gentlemen. If you are, you're being foolish. King World News, look at how job losses are affecting people's behavior. Well, I'll tell you, one way it's affecting people's behavior is with home sales. People are not buying homes like they once did. They don't have the confidence in the economy or the confidence that they're going to have a job a month from today. 33% of people who were surveyed said they put money aside for future spending. 26% said that they had to dig into their savings to pay for goods and services. 26% said that they have postponed major purchases. So again, everything that is happening, it is definitely playing a role, affecting people's behavior right now. Of course, there are people out there doom spending. They will continue to doom spend as long as they're not doom spending with cash or savings. They are doom spending with credit cards and buy now, pay laters. And I will ask this for the millionth time. What would happen to this economy right now if you took away the credit cards, the buy now, pay laters, and those equity lines that people pulled out of their homes, using their homes as ATMs? People pulled a lot of money out of their homes over the past couple years when rates were very, very low. They pulled a lot of money out of their homes so that they could buy RVs, take vacations, put a little cash on the side. That money is drying up. That money has to be paid back too, by the way. You sell that house, that money's got to be paid back. And this market is beginning to tick down. Prices are ticking down. Sales are collapsing. So people really, a couple years ago, who made big mistakes overpaying on a home, not getting inspections done, pulling equity lines out of their homes, using their homes as ATMs. These were all huge, huge mistakes. Me personally, I don't care what the interest rate is. I'm not overpaying for a house, no matter what interest rates are. These people overpaid, they just thought. Here's the problem. People thought things would go up forever. This is how naive people are. Things are going to go up forever, that they're never going to be able to buy a house again because all the homes are going to be sold. Just like they said all the cars would be sold. People got bamboozled, hook, line, and sinker. Here's one from the Hedge today. Trump's monetary reset is a gold-backed dollar on the horizon. Some people say that the dollar will disappear. I say the dollar is not going to disappear. It is going to come under extreme pressure as the BRICS nations are going to challenge the US dollar. But there is one way out of this. There is one way to save the dollar. There is possibly one way to save the US economy. Gold. More people are asking if a gold standard will end the financial crisis. The question is not so much if it will help or if it will reset to gold, but when. There are two powerful catalysts that are driving the reset. The federal debt, which is now getting close to $37 trillion, not including unfunded liabilities, and the US dollar being severely overvalued. The answer is a clear dollar devaluation. How do you do it? You do it with gold. It's a good article. You can check it out on The Hedge today. Something is definitely going on behind the scenes. I do have a question for everybody. What's going on with the audit of Fort Knox? We're hearing nothing about Fort Knox. We're hearing nothing about the audit. Now, we're not even hearing anything about the gold deliveries coming out of London. What is happening? We know that there's been a huge surge of gold deliveries coming from London, but we haven't been hearing too much about it, and we're hearing nothing about the audit of Fort Knox. Do you believe that the gold is there? Is some of the gold there? Is the gold fake? Should it be audited? I believe it should be audited immediately. If it is, will we even know the real answer? Is the gold there? Why are we getting all these deliveries from London? Why the surge in all this gold coming to America? Why the surge in gold to all the central banks and all the BRICS nations? What is going on? Something is definitely going on. Something's been going on behind the scenes. And I do believe gold is going to play an important role. How high could gold go? Who knows? It's going to go much higher, in my opinion. If you don't have any gold, you should get some gold. If you can't afford gold, get yourself some silver. Good place to do it. My link down below, SD Bullion. I've been buying gold and silver from SD Bullion for over 7 years now. One of the most competitive prices you're going to get. The best company, in my opinion, in the entire world, SD Bullion. I've got a great relationship with them. They've been nothing but professional. I get my deliveries quickly. Great service. If you have any questions, you can call them, tell them that Jeremiah sent you, or go to the link down below, make an order. Get some physical gold and silver. I think that it is imperative. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to see what's going on here with the BRICS nations, the central banks, the devaluing of the US dollar. Why should you have some gold? Because this is going to get much, much worse. More uncertainty, more chaos. And look, what's the worst that could happen? You have some gold. It can never be worth zero. It goes up, it goes down. Put it away. Don't think about it. It is an insurance policy. I don't believe you should own gold to make money. I think you should own gold to protect the money that you have. That's my opinion. But I see, just like yesterday with these federal judges trying to pull off this thing with the tariff, it's just more chaos. It's more lawfare. And we're seeing these wars in the Middle East and Eastern Europe intensify. What happens if something takes place in Taiwan in the next 12 to 18 months? What happens if a big bank goes down? What happens as inflation goes higher and we see more job losses and more devaluation of the dollar as more countries dump U.S. treasuries? Protect yourself, ladies and gentlemen. This is not financial advice. This is me thinking out loud, just trying to give some life advice. I think it's very important to own things, not just paper, not just digits on a screen. So protect yourself, SD Bullion, link down below, and make sure you have a way to protect it. Get yourself a dirty man safe. Bury that stuff on your property, underground, in a dirty man safe. Go to my link down below. U.S. company, U.S. made, small company. We need to be supporting U.S. companies. Get yourself a dirty man safe. Gold is extremely expensive. You don't want to lose it. Don't keep it all under your mattress. Don't keep it all in your house. So if you get yourself some gold from SD Bullion and put it in a dirty man safe and bury it and don't think about it. Meet the mortgage company enabling illegals to buy American homes. I want to close with this last article coming from the Daily Mail. And just to get your thoughts from it, the Prisma Lending Group gives mortgages to illegals. No Social Security or green card required. These people, I want to make you very aware, are competing against you to buy a house. They're competing against you for jobs. They're competing against you for government benefits. Do you think that this should be tolerated? Should this be allowed? Again, not political, but People getting loans that don't even reside here, that aren't from here and are not legal, should they be able to get a loan and compete against you to buy a house, take your benefits, or compete against you for government benefits, or possibly take your job because they're going to compete against you or your kids for jobs. Prisma Lending Group has $1 billion, a billion with a B, in loans right now. Maybe they should be a little worried right now because many of their clients could, in the near future, be deported. What happens to those homes? What happens to those loans? I really don't know. Prisma says you have the right to home ownership regardless of legal status. Comment down below. Do you have the privilege? Do you have the right? Do you have any rights in America if you're not from this country or you're not a legal resident? You could be from anywhere in the world and be a legal resident, then you have rights. Then you have the right to go buy a house. But me personally, I don't think you have a right to do this if you came from China or Russia or anywhere in the world. I don't think you have the right to just come here and buy a house. I don't think you have the right to government benefits. I don't think you have a right to a job. I don't think you have a right to anything until you're a legal resident of the United States of America. That's just me. Many people may disagree with that. I don't know how you have a country if anybody can just come here, live here, get a job, and buy a house. How is that even a country at that point? You're going to have a lot more people. This is a huge incentive for people to just get here, cut the line from people who have been in line for years doing it the right way. And I think we bring in about 1.5, 1.7 million people legally into this country. But then you have tens of millions of people who just cut the line, who are competing against you to get a job, for benefits, to buy a house, or maybe go to college. It just really puts a massive strain on the system. We've seen so many hospitals go under now because they cannot support all of these people. And look, I have empathy for people. I have compassion for people. But I just believe you have to get in line like everybody else. I can't even walk into a Costco unless I show them a card, unless I'm a member of the club. But yet you can just walk in here, get a job, and buy a house? I don't think that that's right. That's me. That's my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts. I really want to know what you think about this when so many people are struggling now for work. So many people working 2, 3 jobs. People now just barely hanging on to their house, or people now think they will never be able to buy a house. But you can come from anywhere in the world and come buy a house when an American who's been working here for decades, born and raised here, or became a legal resident here and just, struggling or just grinding it out every day, can't buy a house. But somebody can just walk in and buy a house, get a job, take the benefits. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right. And I don't think there's any country in the world that you could just go in and just do that. I find that really hard to believe that, yeah, you could go down to Mexico and buy a house, but you'll have to pay cash. You're not going to get benefits from Mexico. You're probably not going to get a job in Mexico. Yeah. So you're definitely not going to probably get financing in Mexico. From what I know, you have to pay cash. If you're coming in from the outside, you got to pay cash for a house, or at least 50% down. Let me know if you know about that. But what are your thoughts on this? Comment down below. Beautiful day out here in the desert. It has definitely been getting much, much warmer, triple digits. I think we're going to be in triple digits from here on out. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there today. More lawfare, more chaos, more uncertainty, more volatility in the markets. Markets were pretty flat today. Bond yields pulled back a little bit, but expect them to go up, and expect more volatility. That's how I see it. Make sure that you have some gold, some silver. Make sure you have a place to store it. And make sure that you share this video, subscribe. Have a great day. Be careful out there. God bless.